Alright folks, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Lee the Evil Wizard. Welcome. And in today's video, we're looking at a product from a company that we've not looked at anything before. Today, we're looking at one of the One Kit Wonders from Get Good Drums. This is the One Kit Wonder Metal Edition. So let's check these out. Yeah, before anybody says anything, I know these have been out absolutely ages. I got them a little while ago, been messing about with them, so I thought it'd be about time we do a video on them. So anyway, let's dive down into Studio One and take a look at these. Oh, here we are in Studio One, and this is the GUI, the GUI, whatever you want to call it, of the program itself. So let me put my goggles on. Yes, this is in Contact, but it uses the free Contact player. And I will put a list up here of all the pieces of kit that was used to make this program up. So this is the main screen with your kit. So you've got your snare, toms, kick, and both pedals do work. And then all your cymbals. And your pedal works on your hi-hat as well. So then you've got your next page with your MIDI mapping, and you can have several different ones in there. So you can have the Invasion, General MIDI, Halpern, Get Good Drums, and then you can have some custom ones in there as well. If you've got your own custom map that you like, you can save that, import a map, or export a map, and you can change the velocity curves just underneath there, and just underneath that you can change them for the auto double kick and hi-hat. After that you've got your groove player. As you can see, I have got a few packs in there from GGD even. So let's have a look. So just to play from there, you pick whatever your tempo is, and then you can just double click the grooves. Yeah, then you just pick and then you just drag and drop them into your DAW as so. Let's go to shut back because we're not using them. And then after that, that's just your about page. At the side of the GUI itself, you've got all your presets in there. As you can see on this one, I am using the Mix Ready kit, but I've got the Master EQ and the parallel compression switched off because I have just done a tiny amount of processing on this. At the side there, you've got your output options, so you can have it go into a stereo out, multi-out, or multi-out advanced. I've got it on the advanced CPU scaling. And then you've got your master volume and your reverb volume. Now, as you see, I have got the reverb turned down. Now, I think this is a bit of a bug in Contact itself, because I've come across this same thing with other drum software that's in Contact. It only seems to happen in Contact if it's drum software that's got its own platform and doesn't use the Contact platform. This doesn't happen, but what I found is you're getting the reverbs coming out of channel 1, which is the same channel as the kick. So that's why I've switched the reverb right off, and I'm using a separate reverb out of the program itself. Up here you've got your parallel parallel compression and EQ. So if it's lit up white, they're switched off, but if they're grey, then they're switched on. I would have thought it'd have been the other way around, but yeah, that seems to be the thing on these. And then you have got a little mixer window, but all that is just some fader settings. And when going through this, I have found a second little bug. As I say, I've got this on the advanced outputs, and as you can see, you've only really got a few outputs in there. So you've got all your usual, all your shells, overheads and rooms. You haven't got a separate cymbal box. Oh, excuse you. Kicks going out of 1, snares going out to 2. But what I have noticed is when I tried to put the toms, and this happened with the room mic as well, through sort of channel 3 for the tom 1, it wasn't coming through. All I was getting was an output on the overheads, and it seemed to be defaulting to output 23. And that seemed to be the same for all the toms. I've done a little bit of experimenting. I've tried to put it through outputs of 3, 4 and 5, 3, 4, 5 and 6. There's 4 toms. Yeah, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now, tom 4, that seems to work okay when I put it through output 6, but the others don't. They don't see. You've got to have them going through these outputs. So I've got tom 1 going through output 22, tom 2 to 23, and tom 3 through 24. And it seems to work fine from there. That just seems to be a bug. I don't know. I don't know if other people have found that out, but anyway, hey ho. But the rooms I did manage to get going out through output 8, okay. So we're good with that one. So like I say, there's your basic little mix window. That's basically it. So let's solo these drums out and we'll have a quick listen to them. So this is the kit that I used. Let me just to there. So this is the mix ready with the EQ and the compression switched off, because I've done a bit of processing outside of this. So that's the mix ready one. So let's go through some others. So this is the startup kit. With the processing on, and actually the little bit of processing I had on as well. So let's try it with the EQ off. So this is Big Old Room. Let me just bring that back. Not there. There. So as you can hear, yeah, that's a big old room. So this one's the close and tight. off in the distance. We're not going to go through all of them. We'll go through just a few. Let me switch the reverb off as well on these. Just notice that. As you can see, the room is quite loud in this one. One more, we'll have a listen to the overhead phase. Let's just take that reverb down again. Overhead mics. So yeah, when you are switching between them, if you're going to use your own reverb, make sure that reverb's pulled down. But before you put any reverbs on, you're going to have decided which kit you're going to use. So the actual processing for the drums on this kit is really, really simple. So on the individual pieces of kit, I'm using the A console right across each individual track, just to give a bit of console emulation. And then I'm using this vintage EQ. This is one that comes in Studio One. I think depending on which version of Studio One you get or what offers were on at the time you get Studio One, this came as part of my package. On some packages you do have to pay for it. They're calling it a vintage EQ. I think it's based off a 1081. This is the settings for the kick, just taking a little bit out of the mid-range, boosting a little bit of 35 Hertz and just boosting that clickiness. And I'm using the effect compressor in there as well, just around about 3 dBs of gain reduction, 2 to 3 dBs, if I remember rightly. In fact, it's hardly moving at all there. On the snare, it's using the same EQ, just slightly different settings, and that same compressor, and I'm using that same compressor on the toms as well. But on the snare, I am also using a clipper. On the toms, we have got that same A console, but on the top 2 toms that was used, I used exactly the same EQ settings, because you are limited with this style of EQ, which sometimes I think is a good thing. But yeah, using the same settings, and same again like with the kick, it's just a small, tiny amount of compression in there. Let's have a look. I don't think we're using that much at all. 2 to 3 dB at the very most. On the overheads, just a tiny amount of EQ, just taking everything out below 500 Hertz and just taking some annoying frequencies out at 4 and a bit K, that sort of hi-hat that was really annoying me. And on the room mics, I'm just taking everything out below 180 and everything out above 5K and just notching a tiny amount out at 600 Hertz, that sort of honky mid-range for the snare. Now on the drums bus, I am using the drum bus from BSA, along with just a tiny amount of EQ, everything going below 35 Hertz, and just a tiny boost at 200 Hertz just to bring the body of the snare out a touch. And I didn't use the clipper at all in there. For the drums distortion channel, I am using the slammed version of the drum bus. Didn't use any EQ after that. But the snare and the toms, we have got going off to a reverb channel, and I'm just using the Panda rooms. Just using the main drum room in there. Didn't change anything in there at all. I liked how it was sounding. Just taking out everything above 9.5K. For the rest of the mix, on the bass, using the Brown Crusher, which I think is basically an updated version of the Rex Brown. why Rex is not involved with it this time, I don't know. Just some basic EQ moves for the main bass tone, some compression, and limiter on the bass sort of grindy mid-range track, using the same Bone Crusher but on a different setting, more of a grindy setting. And we're just focusing on that mid-range, some compression in there, and that same limiter. Guitars, get off because we didn't actually use. So on the guitars, I'm using the Destructor Stoneforge, again from JST. I thought, why not? It got that sort of Dino sound to it, that track. So I thought, let's try some Dino sounds on there. But I didn't actually use the cabs in the actual amp sim itself. I thought I'd give Pulse 2 a try out, and I am just using the stock IRs that come in Pulse. I will do a video on this in the coming weeks, but yeah, I thought I'd give Pulse 2 a try out while I thought I'm downloading that on the guitar bus, basic EQ, some C4 just to clamp down on the palm mute, and then just use this API 550 just to give a tiny boost at 7K, just to bring some of those, if you will, the air frequencies, just to let the guitar stand out in the mix a bit more. On the actual main fader, that same A console again, just from extra console emulation. Some bus compression, which is just about 2 or 3 dB. Yeah, sort of peaking at just touching 4, but not going above it. I'm using this tape emulator just to give it some tape saturation, and I'm just using this G3 multi-band compressor just to clamp down on a few things. So that was the One Kit Wonder metal version from Get Good Drums. What do I think about these things? Did they get the wizard seal of approval? Or do they get the finger of doom? They do get the wizard seal of approval, but with a couple of little caveats in there. Now, for me, the caveats are, yes, you've got that sort of bug in there with the reverb going into channel 1, which obviously using for the kick. Now, I suppose you could have moved the kick down and moved everything down, or just turn that reverb down altogether and use an external reverb, which is what I've done and which is what I normally do anyway with any drum software. But I think that's more of a bug within Contact rather than any of this, because it seems to be happening with more than one drum VST within the Contact platform. Because there's another piece of drum software I've got that I'm going to be testing out shortly, and that has got the same bug. He has put a fix in for that, so he's just waiting for Native to implement that fix and release it out to everybody. And there's that other little bug with the toms. I think that could be a little bit of a bug. Now, why they're not coming out of sort of 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know. But why you've got to put them out of wherever, I don't know. Anyway, that's the way around it. Just put them out of 22, 21, 22, 23, 24, whatever. That's something I found. I don't know if anybody else has found that issue with whether it's something particular to the One Kit Wonders, because I have got another one that I need to start testing out as well, that I've had that in ages. Now, do these sound good? Yes. All the presets do sound good. Now, yeah, the overhead one, yeah. All you're getting is overheads. If you want that sound, then fair enough. But yeah, all the main sort of presets to me do sound good. Would I use this in a full production? Probably not. There's other drum libraries out there that I prefer and that I prefer to use in full productions. Now, just for a quick YouTube video, yeah, no problem. But in a full production that put out to release or on a client mix? Probably not. I've not tried the full Get Good Drums, the full version. This is a stripped down version of it. That's why you're only getting the faders on the mixers and stuff like that. But apart from that, yeah, they do sound good. Like I say, for somebody who's just doing quick YouTube demos, YouTube videos, yeah, I think they're worth the shot. This one, I think, is at £47 at the moment. I'm not sure what that is in dollars, but they do have sales on Black Friday sales and things like that, where they do knock it down to a lot less than that. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about these down in the comments. And I'll leave a link to the Get Good Drums website where you can take a look at these and all the other one-kit wonders they got and the actual full-on Get Good Drums. And if you want to grab yourself some Evil Wizard merch,
there's a link to the merch store down in the description.
But that's all from me, folks.
I will catch you in the next one.
Right, folks, I hope you enjoyed that video. You can follow me on social media and you can get my music online, and if you want to support the channel, there's Buy Me a Coffee and PayPal links. They're all down in the description. Click up here to subscribe and click the link down there for videos that you may not have seen. Keep it loud and keep it heavy.